No, we don't look back at that at all. Just all the things we're having to go through right now just to make it through a day. You've got to put your mind on being successful for today. And so our kids are focused on having a great practice today. I'm focused on us having a great practice today and having great junior high games. And other than that, I hadn't really thought about last year. Now, maybe I blacked it out too.
We talked about that 3-3-5 defense last week. You guys seemed to solve it pretty well. Just kind of what were you guys able to do against that defense that was successful?
It's a great defense, and it's really good against the spread. Now, if you'll put a tight end down or two tight ends down and balance it up and make them have to do some things they're not used to doing and don't want to do, I think you can be successful. And the guys that were at the game last week saw us that probably 80% of the time we were in two tight end formations, and I felt like you're either going to have to come down and try to stop the run. When you do that, you're going to leave Jack and Joe one-on-one, and that's not a good deal.
How important is that with you guys that have that versatility where you can be as spread as anyone else in the state, but the fact that you can run two tight ends whenever you want as well?
We've worked really hard here the last 3 years to try to develop tight ends and develop that part of our game, and we're doing that down in the junior high and just trying to bring that up through our system and doing it with our junior highs, underclasses, everybody. And so I just think it's important when you run into teams like me and you talked about that you have that option to attack them that way.
Are you talking about with Andrews coming up? Here's a long road trip for one thing. That's one aspect of the game you got to play. This is going to be for you guys as tough a test that you've seen this year. You're going to kind of emphasize it as well. You guys have played that this is a new level. You guys kind of step up to.
Yeah, Andrews is a great team, and y'all look at how many points they've scored. Good gracious, they can light it up, and so. With social media, with news, with all the things that we have, there's no secrets how good Andrews are, and our kids understand it, and they're looking forward to go down there and really try to play well.
What is your defense? I think it was asked about the defense. The last 4 games, 166-3. Is that how you outscored your opponents? What is the defense doing so well to let you have games like that?
On defense, this. First thing is playing hard, and our kids are playing really hard, and Coach Anderson and our defensive staff do a wonderful job motivating them and getting them to do that. And then we're in our 3rd year of this 3-4 scheme, and Coach Anderson's had the opportunity to put in a lot of different looks, and I think that's really paying off. And over this break, when we weren't in school, we went back and broke down every opponent and saw what they did to us and how they attacked us and what we could do better. And during that time, we decided the things that we need to implement to attack people defensively, got that put in when we got to come back, and it's been successful.
Blake, go ahead. Will you tell me, does the offense or the defense feed off of the great crowds you have? It's just amazing to see. I know homecoming and everything, but all that purple out there and the crowd going crazy. Which parts of your team do you think feed off of it?
I don't know, man. I tell you what, our whole team does, our coaching staff does, from our cheerleaders to our band to our student section, and then all of our parents and community that show up. We're so thankful for them. And I've talked to a million of those folks through text, phone calls, stopping by the office, running to them in the community, and they say, Coach, it's 2.5 hours where our community feels normal, where we all feel like a family again. And so I think everybody's feeling that way right now when we get to play on Friday nights.
Blake, all those zeros on the scoreboard, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but if somebody does score against you, is the defense able to react to that, do you think? And by that I mean not just, you don't need a 0, you just need a W sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you talked to them about that, or is that not even on the table?
I haven't talked to them about any of it because we just move on to the next game. Obviously they're proud of what they've done and they're excited about that, but they understand people are going to score. They understand the prolific offense that we're fixing to face. And you look on to Pampa and Dumas and Hereford, and people are going to score. You know what I mean? You just got to fight and find a way to get a W.
What does Andrews do well on offense? Why are they able to score those points?
They understand their spread scheme, and they played a real high tempo. I think against Greenwood, they snapped it 94, 95 times, and so you're going to have to do a good job of getting the call in, and our kids are going to have to adjust to their things fast, and then as soon as the play's over, they got to look over, and they got to get that call again. We've got to watch them when they substitute people and make sure we have people ready to substitute so we can get fresh bodies in. So it's a little chess game when you're playing against them, but we practiced it yesterday. We'll practice it again today, and I think we'll do a good job against it.
Is it a tough thing to simulate for you guys for your defense to look at in practice, or is that maybe not so tough considering the type of offense you guys are running?
Well, our defensive staff had a great job, so instead of running just one attack team huddle against ourselves, we set up 2 attack team huddles. So one group goes and runs a play. As soon as that's done, the other group runs out and gets lined up and starts running a play. And so I think that's the best way that we figured out how to simulate stuff like that.